Forklift training, it's an absolutely critical part of any material handling operation. It's a must-do for safety, for compliance. But what if I told you that the way most companies are handling it isn't just less effective, it's actually a huge hidden drain on their bottom line? Let's dig into that. So I want to start with a pretty direct question for you. Is your current forklift training program a hidden liability? Now, that might sound a little dramatic, right? I mean, most companies think they have this all locked down, but the standard approach, well, it might be exposing you to risks you haven't even thought about.
You know the drill. The go-to move for most companies is to just outsource. You find a third party, send your operators over, get that piece of paper that says they're certified, and check the box. Done. On the surface, it seems like the easiest, cheapest way to get it done. But today, we're going to peel back that first layer and see what's really underneath. Because here's the thing, that initial price tag for outsourced training, it's often hiding some pretty significant long-term costs. We're talking about all the expenses that never show up on that first invoice. So let's break down these hidden costs. It's so much more than what you pay the training company. Think about the lost productivity, hours your team spends traveling to some generic off-site class. Think about the compliance risks. What if that training isn't totally up to snuff? Or the cost of employee turnover when people don't feel invested in. And maybe the biggest one of all, the day-to-day inefficiency that comes from training that doesn't actually teach your team how to handle the specific challenges of your warehouse.
And this is the number that should really make you pause. $100,000. That's the potential cost of just one forklift accident. When you factor in everything, medical bills, equipment repairs, all the operational downtime, it adds up incredibly fast. Suddenly, those savings from a cheap, outsourced class just evaporate.
This chart right here really puts it all into perspective. On one side, you've got outsourced training. It's generic, one-size-fits-all, it checks the basic OSHA boxes. On the other side, you have in-house training. It's completely tailored to your facility, your workflows, your specific risks. It's the difference between just fulfilling a requirement and actually building a real, lasting culture of safety. So if outsourcing has all these hidden pitfalls, what's the alternative? Well, that brings us to a much more strategic solution. Let's talk about the in-house advantage and how you can shift your view of training from just another expense to a powerful investment in your company's future. The answer is a Train the Trainer program. And the concept is actually really simple but so powerful. Instead of constantly paying an outsider to come in, you invest in one of your own, an experienced operator, and you turn them into a certified instructor. You're not just buying a one-off training session, you're building a permanent internal asset for your company. And here's the best part. You probably have the perfect person for this job on your team right now. You're looking for that seasoned operator who knows your facility and your equipment like the back of their hand. Someone who's a stickler for safety, who can communicate clearly, and who has that natural leadership quality. Someone who can mentor their colleagues and get them motivated. These are the people who build a safety culture from the inside out. Okay, so I know what you're thinking. This sounds great, but does the investment actually pay off? What's the real return here? Well, let's look at the data, because the results are both dramatic and, more importantly, measurable. Just take a look at this. A case study showed a company slashed their forklift accidents by 40% in just 6 months after they switched to an in-house training program. A 40% reduction. That is a massive win for safety, and it's proof of just how powerful truly customized training can be. And the financial impact? It's just as impressive. We're talking about a potential 60% reduction in long-term training costs over 3 years. Think about it. Once you eliminate those recurring per-person fees for outside trainers, the program pays for itself incredibly fast, and then it starts putting money back into your pocket. So, let's just pull all of these benefits together. With an in-house program, you're in the driver's seat. You get full control over the costs, the schedule, and, most importantly, the content. You're building a rock-solid safety culture, you're giving your best people a new career path, which helps retention, and you're boosting your bottom line. It's a win-win-win. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? Forklift training is not just a regulatory requirement. It is a strategic investment in your workforce and your operations. It's a total mindset shift. This isn't just about compliance anymore. It's about building a better, safer, more profitable business from the ground up.
All right, so you're probably thinking, okay, this sounds amazing, but where do I even start? This feels like a huge undertaking. Well, the good news is there's a really clear and actionable path forward to building your own program. It really just boils down to these 4 simple steps. First, you pick your champion, that experienced operator with leadership potential. Second, you get them certified in a professional train-the-trainer course. Third, you work with your new trainer to build out a program that's 100% customized for your site. And finally, you track your progress. Look at those accident rates and productivity numbers so you can keep making the training better and better. It's a totally manageable process.
So we're going to end right where we started, with a question I want you to really think about. Take a hard look at what you're doing right now. Is your forklift training just another box to check for compliance? Or are you treating it like what it really is, a powerful, strategic tool to build a safer, more efficient, and more competitive operation? The choice and the opportunity is all yours.